NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons. Season finale.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons. I am Uriah, here with Maurice.
Hello.
Lucas.
What's up?
And we got Ben.
Hey.
How you guys feeling after that special episode where we tasted wines? Maurice, you got any wine left?
I do have wine left. I don't know about Lucas and Ben, but it was good wine. It was very good wine, and I'm happy to share it.
Yeah, that was a fun episode. Lucas, you got any wine left?
No, but to be fair, I had a friend that I haven't seen in a long time come out of town, so we just chilled and those bottles are gone.
And you only had 2 bottles. Everyone else had 4.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kendall Jackson Red, I think, was the most popular.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed, because I was with my family, my in-laws yesterday, and they were excited about this episode because they're really big wine drinkers. When they tasted the Harden wine, they were pleasantly surprised. But I think their favorite was the D-Wade Red. And the Kendall Jackson Red, the Cabernet, because I tasted it right away, it tasted a little different. If you wait a day or two, it does taste different.
It does taste different, yeah. You got to let it breathe and aerate, yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah. All right, so this is a bittersweet episode because, wow, since September we started this, guys.
Yeah.
And here it is, June. NBA Finals still going on. But for us, we're officially going to end season 1. And we're going to do so on a reflective note. Each of us, we're going to look back at certain episodes. There's a really special this or that player that we're going to look back on. And then we're going to project forward. I'll read some potential comparisons for season 2 so people can look forward to that in the next couple months. That being said, let's start with some fun stuff. Let's look back on some of our funniest moments. Does anybody have a blooper stand out? Lucas, let's see your hand up.
My favorite memory, and this is not to, pounce on Maurice here, but perennial.
Perennial? Can you say it now, Maurice?
Yeah, perennial. Yeah, that was probably my biggest blunder this season was that one word, which in my brain kept coming out as perennial.
Right.
I don't know why. It was PRE, but it's actually PER. This player is often overlooked because of his perennial.
Perennial.
Let me say that
like the plant.
Perennial. If you catch the bloopers, you'll see. That tripped me up for a while.
That whole segment piece, Lucas cracked me up though. Because Maurice was struggling, and then all of a sudden, Ben, me, and Lucas were like perennial at the same time, and then Lucas goes like the plant. And he was dead serious. Like,
there are perennial plants. I don't know why is that.
You are correct, but it was just so out of nowhere. I was like, yeah, there's plants that are
the most out of nowhere thing I can't mention on this spot. But somebody messed up a line and they said an inappropriate word, and then I said the phrase that I said afterwards.
Oh yeah.
And that caught everybody by off guard. So that's a win in my book.
We keep it clean on here.
Yeah, we do keep it clean, yeah. But when we mess up, we definitely cut it out.
Real quick, what a lot of people don't know about Lucas is Lucas has a lot of sidebar comments.
Oh yeah,
like
totally.
he'll derail what we're doing and go into a whole nother.
I can't help it. It's just part of who I am, guys.
Yeah. His ideas bounce around his brain like a pinball on a pinball machine. Like,
I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, but I wouldn't be surprised if I had it.
Yeah. Allow me to pick on Ben for a little bit. Ben is probably the best communicator in terms of reading his lines because he's a professional actor. He's like on top of his game. But there was one segment he could not get through. It was the introduction to the Giannis and Sean Kemp episode. And,
trying to remember
and
that.
the line was like, these two are like speeding freight trains. And
I
Ben
remember
could
that.
not get through that. He was like, speeding fate chains.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
And then he tried it again and he messed it up. Like he was like speeding freight trains, and I was like, "Come on, Ben, you can do it, man."
Going downhill, these players are like speeding freight chains. All right, sorry. Going
It's all
down,
right.
I know. Going downhill, these players are like freaks. Oh my god.
That was fun, and I struggled. I couldn't even say Giannis's last name for like 5 minutes straight.
Oh yeah.
You
struggled with that last name.
That was tough.
The Giannis one was hard. I mean, reading some of the verbiage Lucas had to do it too. The Kendall Jackson stuff was just like.
Oh yeah, because I kept on saying
it felt like
Kendall
people were just trying to be
Jenner.
so smart. They're just like, someone just like went through with thesaurus and was like, this is a difficult word. Let me put it here. It's
Yeah,
like,
Veredal.
damn, bro. Yeah,
Veredal.
Veredal. I'll remember that forever.
Hey, Uriah, can you say local Lillard?
Logo Lillard.
There we go.
There you go.
That was way
So-
back. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember one that I really struggled with. Can you guys remember? I can't.
It's just long sentences get you.
Yeah, long sentences
Yeah.
do get me.
The thing for me, and I think you guys would agree, but like we figured it out. And I know like the Ringer guys, because they're all Boston guys, struggle with it. They don't even, I feel like they don't even like attempt to like
They don't hide it.
not talk about the Celtics. They'll just like always be biased. I'm like, Tatum. But not talking about the Sixers was so hard for me. And like, God, and I eventually figured it out, but that was to not have a Sixers spin. I think we just kind of would still always talk about it. But that was the funniest moments when like,
Well, that's why we get on early now, so you can get all your Sixers takes out before the pod.
Yeah. And-
yeah, I think calling everyone by first name, like we talk about those Sixers players like they're our friends and family members,
Right.
Family members. So yeah, that was hilarious. Lucas, there was one thing. Oh, freakish athleticism.
Oh gosh, that one was hard.
That was
That
Giannis too. It was Giannis.
Yeah,
It
gosh, that was a hard one.
freakish. You could not say that.
Could not say it. Freakish athleticism. I still got to pause between the words in order to say it.
Yeah.
His freakish athleticism and dominant play style. I want to put in play style, not just dominant
No,
style.
just dominant style.
Okay. His freakish
I love it. All right, so those are some funny moments that stand out to us. Let's. look
hang
back.
on. I got one more.
Yeah,
The
go ahead.
Chihuahuas next to Ben's apartment.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ben's
Oh, yeah,
neighbor's
yeah.
dog. Yes.
You know what's funny is being I haven't heard them lately, but I shouldn't say anything.
Knock on
For
wood.
such a tiny dog, the barks were very loud.
I
You'd
tell you
thought it
what,
was
Ben-
Cujo or something.
I bet you what Ben did with that extra wine, he poured it in the bowl for the dogs. So,
Yeah,
So-
I did.
so they're sleeping right now, thanks to Ben.
Sleeping it off.
Yep.
So let's look back on our favorite episode.
Ooh.
And you know what? Let me just read, just in case we don't remember. I'm just going to go down all the episodes that we've done. And each of us are going to go back to one of those episodes. And we're just going to talk about why they stand out to us. Oh, I just heard the dog.
Yep. I
Dang it,
summoned it.
Ben.
We woke him up.
Yeah. These were our options. These are our options based on the lineup. So we had Vince Carter, Zach LaVine, Devin Booker, Gilbert Arenas, Jason Williams, LaMelo Ball, Draymond Green, Ron Artest, also known as Meta World Peace, Carmelo Anthony, Brandon Ingram, Penny Hardaway, SGA, Jaren Jackson Jr., Dwight Howard, Giannis, Sean Kemp, Steph Curry, Steve Nash, Kobe Butler. Oh my God. Kobe Butler. Oh my God.
Wow.
Whoa.
Please don't edit that out. That would be
Yeah.
lovely.
All right. Kobe Bryant, Jimmy Butler. So let's start with those 10. We'll split this in half. Out of those 10 episodes, which one's is most memorable to you?
I'm gonna say the first, just because like it was our first, and like I think we kind of hit it out of the park. Like I remember listening to it. It's interesting hearing some of those players because I have to say this because you went through some players that like a year ago, back in September, like people they had maybe a good year prior, a good playoff run. like Levine or Ingram. And then you think like they might play really well this year. And like the narrative switches. It's just funny to hear those names and what we thought 9 months ago. And like Jaylen Brown, remember people like he doesn't have a left hand. Why are you giving him all that money? And then he wins finals. And he's the best player right now in the finals. Right. I mean, second best, but he's the best. So it's just interesting how 1 year can change a narrative. So that's what stands out to me. And then, this is the first episode, I would say. It like flowed. And then I remember for me, it was listening to it. I'm like, okay, cool. This is going to work. This is cool.
And I just have to say, Ben, it was your first time literally ever doing a podcast about anything. And you picked up everything very quickly. And it's just, you just have a great way of framing things with your words related to basketball. So you've been a huge, huge addition to what we've been doing.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's not, for the people out there, it's not as easy as you think.
Right.
It's not. It's very difficult for to figure it all out. So yeah, cool. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Maurice or Lucas,
I'll go next.
Sure.
If we are going with out of those 10 that we did list, my favorite one was probably going to be the Steve Nash, Steph Curry one. The similarities were a lot closer than we thought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the struggles that they had to deal with, being overlooked and being non-athletic guards, but changing so many aspects of the NBA. That's a good point. Very good point. Yeah. Maurice, what about you?
It was Draymond Metta World Peace. It was different.
Really? Okay.
It was different. Usually we do the flashy offensive players who could score, but that was the first episode we did with two defensive known players.
And we did those episodes before the before Draymond's incidences too, correct?
No.
I think so.
Well, it's hard to know which one. Yeah. But no, it was before. It was before the latest one.
It was before the big incident for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and the comparisons was really spot on too as well. Both of them, had to grow up pretty rough. So it was a really good episode of just comparing two guys who kind of found their roles in the NBA and excelled at it.
Yeah. Maurice, definitely the first defensive comparison where two players are almost identical based on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And Ben, I got a 1A, 1B. 1A is Ben's, which is our first episode, because I remember that first episode, not going to lie, I was a little nervous, didn't know what to expect, but I think how we met on Clubhouse and how easy it is to talk to each other, let our hair down, have fun. It definitely went as planned, but even better. And of course, we talk about Vince Carter. I mean, what's there not to like when you talk about that guy?
That was cool to get back. That guy really changed the league. That was cool to reflect on.
Oh, yeah. The dunks and everything. And my 1B episode favorite was actually Penny Hardaway and SGA.
Oh,
because to me, I live on the East Coast, I don't watch a lot of OKC basketball. And you hear SGA and you're like, how good is this kid really? And when we researched and we talked about him, I think we all learned like the mystery behind him. And first of all, how deep his voice is, right? Like, remember, I think Maurice was like, I didn't even know that was his voice.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, so that was exciting. And then the Penny Hardaway. I distinctly remember Ben saying, this took me back to my high school days or middle school days with the Penny Hardaway commercials and Chris Rock. So I think that was a favorite episode because that was a special time for me with basketball, is watching Penny and Shaq. And it's just too bad it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So the other half of our comparisons for us to look back on, here's the option. So we also did Jamal Murray, Deron Williams, Luka Doncic, Larry Bird, Joel Embiid, Hakeem Olajuwon, Kyrie Irving, Isaiah Thomas, Pistons, Isaiah Thomas, by the way, Damian Lillard, Reggie Miller, Jayson Tatum, Paul Pierce, De'Aaron Fox, Nick Van Exel, Kevin Durant, Dominique Wilkins, Rudy Gobert, Dikembe Mutombo, James Harden, Allen Iverson, Paolo Banchero, Blake Griffin, and Jalen Brunson, Chauncey Billups. Which one of those stands out to you as a favorite?
I would say the draft episode.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Once again, it was a different episode than what we normally do. And that was fun. For me, I know Lucas feels differently, but for me, going back to the 80s is fun for me because I like the old school basketball Even to this day, I'll check it out on YouTube or something like that. But reflecting on the 1984 NBA draft was fun because what we figured out during the episode is the 84 draft was mainly top-loaded, top-heavy, whereas the 96 draft had talent throughout, even towards the end with Ben Wallace being undrafted. So that was a fun episode for me.
Yeah, we learned a lot. Like Oscar Schmidt, I'll be honest, I'd never heard of that guy, but Maurice brought that to the table. And Lucas, why are you looking like that?
No, I'm trying to remember if a fun fact that I learned was in that. Didn't we learn that Ronnie Brewer's dad was in the 83 draft?
80.
I don't remember. I just know that Lucas brought up Leon Wood as a referee.
Yeah, Leon Wood was he was in the Jordan draft, right?
Yeah.
And then the Iverson's rookie year center, who we thought was just some wash dude, Cage, was super legit back in the day. It was like an all-star, all-NBA. Yeah. Michael Cage, right?
Yeah, Michael Cage.
Yeah, so that episode is slowly creeping up in popularity. Like every time I look at our numbers, that episode is getting more and more downloads. So yeah, I agree, Maurice. We did something different, and it required a little bit more organization and research, but I think everybody brought something to the table that we could learn from. Lucas, what about you?
This is a tough one because I really liked a few of them in the second half here. My heart wants to say the Joel Embiid Elijah one, but I'm going to go with my head here because I think that we were all shocked how long that it took for us to record the Dikembe Mutombo and Rudy Gobert episode. Yeah. I don't think any of us were expecting to deep dive into that. I honestly thought that was going to be one of our quicker episodes because I'm not a big Gobert fan, if I'm being honest. But yet, we ended up spending 2.5 hours? How long was the episode after you edited it?
At least, I think it was an hour and 45 minutes.
But that's like one of our longer episodes.
It is.
Right?
It is. It definitely is. And it's another thing that we wouldn't expect, one of our most popular episodes. Mm-hmm. I think fans are curious about these centers because I guess so much attention goes towards wings and point guards. People are like, what do we know about these 7'2" giants, right? So
actually really like the Tatum Paul Pierce one. I thought that was pretty good. And I thought that we had a lot of fun with that one. Because I remember Paul Pierce. But half these guys that we're comparing, I have to go back and watch video, look up stats. I was there during Pierce's heyday. So
the truth. Yeah.
Much better nicknames in the 2000s, by the way. Not very good nicknames.
Before Ben goes, all I have to say about that episode was Lucas had a couple rants about Rudy Gobert. Now, to be fair, he might be correct after his latest playoff run.
I feel I feel that's a coaching. They shouldn't have put him on the perimeter. I mean,
they shouldn't have played him.
Even if Joel's a better perimeter defender, but you wouldn't have Joel on the perimeter. You don't have a center on the perimeter.
Guarding Luka Doncic, no.
Yeah, so I don't think that's his fault. I thought he did a good job. I mean, they made the Western Conference Final. He was a big part of that. You just can't have him. He's not a good perimeter defender. He is He's not elite. He can't guard Luka Doncic at the three.
Yeah. Not many people can guard Luka Doncic. Ben, what about you? What episode stands out from that sample?
The Jalen Brunson one's interesting because we did that later in the season, right? Had we done that back in September, we'd have been this dude's all right. Yeah. And again, you see in one season, it's kind of why I use the current. I think that version of the current player is Luka's always been good, but it would be Jaylen Brown. How his game has improved. Definitely Joel Hakeem. It's not just because I'm a Joel guy. It was the first one I was really excited about, and I think it's the most on-the-nose comparison we probably did all season, meaning this is the reincarnation of this player, and then even their careers, Hakeem was, 31 when he finally, figured it out, and Joel, I do think he had a good playoffs. I think there's still potential for him to figure it out and win the chip. I do think the Artest Draymond one is pretty on the nose too.
Yeah,
but we always would have to. This is hard to compare these players. So they're not exactly the same. But that one was the most, I was excited about. Weirdly, I thought the Iverson one. I got a little heated in the Iverson one, but
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah, that's my favorite player growing up.
Yeah, that Harden episode with AI, that took the longest. That's our longest recorded, even after editing. It's 2 hours long because those players are so phenomenal and polarizing. So
yeah.
And for me, I would say the Isaiah Thomas Kyrie episode, because like you, Ben, your favorite player growing up was AI. For me as a kid, it was Isaiah Thomas. So when I had a chance to research and present his career juxtaposed with Kyrie, that was a special moment for me. But I'd say, just to be honest, the Luka and Larry Bird episode.
That's a good one, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. It was so interesting to learn about the history of Larry Bird in the 70s and how teams like could draft kids out of college. And Larry Bird was like, they were taking a big risk with him, but it panned out, obviously. And then Luka being so young and playing professionally for Real Madrid. By the way, thank you, Lucas, for telling me how to pronounce Real Madrid. Because I was like, Real Madrid. And Lucas was like, whoa. Hold on. It's Real Madrid. Lucas is he's always correcting us, like with Maurice Boban. Yeah. How many times did he have to correct you with Boban?
Marjanovic.
Marjanovic. There you go. I'm big on pronunciations. What can I say?
No, I mean, dude, when you were writing for Sixer Sense, you had to be. This next question is a very general question. It doesn't have to be about a specific episode. So what did you enjoy most about doing these podcast episodes? Let's go. Let's just overall. What did you like most?
I don't live near any of my, childhood friends or family. I'm pretty isolated. So just getting to talk to you guys, honestly, and just getting to build this brotherhood. Like, I'm not trying to get all soft on you guys, but like in all seriousness, no, it's nice to have a little friend community too, that we can just kind of talk this stuff out with.
Yeah. For what people, Ryan spoke on a little bit. For what people don't realize about us is we all met on an app called Clubhouse. And it's not really that popular nowadays, but during the pandemic, when everybody was trying to reach out and speak to people, about certain common, things that they like, Clubhouse was the app. And we are all Sixers fans. You guys at home know that by now. And we always talk Sixers, and we would get together during games and react to the games live. And that's how we all became friends. And from that, this grew. This has been really fun. I couldn't have thought that, from an app, I would make friends, you guys, and a couple other friends as well, Winston and a couple others in our group chat as well. So this has been really fun, and more to come.
Yeah, definitely more to come. Ben?
I think exactly what Maurice just said, like that how this happened was born out of 3.5 years ago, Clubhouse, which got absorbed by Twitter X pretty much. But it was very much a time and a place. Like we couldn't really leave our house with COVID. And yeah, we all just searched for community. And what's great is that it kind of, people do more stuff like this. So for me, you guys know this by now, I live in LA. I'm from the Philly area. So for me, I always have to kind of really cultivate a community to talk not only Sixers, but basketball. I have some friends out here, but this has been really nice for me because, yeah, you get to, talk basketball, talk sports. So, because I'm so far away from my Philly people that this has been really nice. Yeah, it just fills that void. When you're a kid, you just want to talk about the game, and this has kind of been great, to just nerd out on basketball.
Yeah, connectivity is the common theme of what you three just mentioned. And I think the number one thing that I love about what we do is we complement each other so well with what we bring to the table. And just look at the eras. I'm the old head. Lucas likes to remind me of that now. But now I'm not, because Winston's on board.
Is Winston older?
Yeah, Winston's got me by at least 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, you and Winston aren't the only ones that are old heads now. Maurice is officially an old head now.
Yes, I am.
Oh, because he's 40?
Yeah. I'm in that 40 club.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm coming. We're almost there.
Ben is next. Ben is next.
To be fair,
April,
when me and Uriah were doing the Sixers sense, we had a guy that was just like 21 at the time.
Oh, Chris. Chris Klein.
So,
he was young.
How is it working with that young? Because, like, I feel like it would give... Because there's so many kids in NBA chats, and I find out, guys, like, I don't know if you find this. I'm in some, like, Sixers or NBA groups, right? And these kids are really smart, right, about stuff. And all of a sudden, it'll be like my chemistry 201 exam. I'm like, I'll be like, how old are you? And they're like 19 or 20. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. But you just look at the tiers of our NBA knowledge. Yeah. I've been watching basketball since the beginning of the 80s. Maurice and Ben, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s.
And then Lucas, he covers like all the, I guess, more recent decades. So
I remember the Dwight Howard podcast. You guys were like, Lucas, you cooking today? I'm like, yeah. Well, I remember Dwight was one of my favorite players at the time during when he was at his peak. I remember the third string center. It was a Donald Foyle.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, Lucas helps with, like, because there's eras like those late aughts, early 2010s. Lucas, you're like an expert on that. Where I was pretty checked out. Like, I remember those OKC teams, but like when they had all three of them, I wasn't super.
I'm trying to remember who else was on those. I think that was the Thabo Cephalosha time.
Jameer Nelson.
No, Jameer wasn't on OKC. No, we're talking.
We're talking about Orlando.
Oh no, the prime. No, it was the center that won the chip with
Perkins. It was Perkins.
No, it was Perkins, but they drafted what's his face too. He was an all-star. He was
Steven Adams was the backup, and they did have Ibaka too. But I don't.
Ibaka, that's it. Ibaka, he was in their big. He was in that big three. They drafted him.
Yeah, he was a power forward at the time. I don't think he ever made an all-star. Did he?
I think he might have made one.
Did he really? It's weird how his career started because he was like a premier shot blocker for the first half of his career, and then he kind of switched over to more of a scoring threat. It's weird.
No, you're right. 3 times. No, you know what it is? 3-time All-NBA defensive first team.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And blocks leader. That's actually impressive. Yeah. Damn it. Yeah.
Before we look ahead to season 2, we already have some comparisons lined up. What we want to do is look back on season 1's comparisons. I'm going to give you 2 players, and you tell me if both players were coming out at the same time, obviously knowing what we know now, knowing these players would become the stars that they are or were, who would you draft over who?
Ooh,
this is going to be good.
This is going to cause some controversy. I'm ready for it.
Let's go to episode 1. I'm going to go to Ben first this time. Vince Carter or Zach LaVine? I think I know. Well, actually, no, I don't know if I know this answer. Ben, who would you draft over who? Vince Carter or Zach LaVine?
Vince Carter. I just think there's just more explosiveness. Like his 8 or 9 year prime is just like iconic. Yeah, it's not even. And Zach LaVine could rebound, but yeah, Vince Carter.
I'm going to go Vince Carter too. And it's not just the prime that I'm looking at. I'm looking at if he's going to be a franchise corner piece, how is he going to adjust when he's outside of his prime? Vince Carter, you could argue, was the best superstar to ever adjust after being outside of his prime.
Vince Carter as well.
Yeah.
Vince Carter, the longevity is there for me. If you're telling me if I can draft a player and I can potentially have him for 20 years,
yeah.
I mean, like, only Kobe and maybe Kareem can do that. Can you say that? So, Vince Carter for sure.
I think it's a consensus. That's a no-brainer. Vince Carter, Hall of Fame this summer. He's going to be inducted. All right, how about Devin Booker or Gilbert Arenas? Who would you draft if they came out at the same time, Ben?
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker, he's healthier.
Okay.
I'm going to say Devin Booker, but there's a but. Gilbert Arenas had like 2 or 3 years of a great prime that I don't know if Devin Booker can hit. He could. He's still young. He can still hit it. Right. But when Gilbert Arenas was in his prime, he was kind of the man. I mean, not the man, you said Kobe, but
he was one of the best 5 players in the NBA.
Yes, put it to you like that. Yes, that's a good way to put it.
I agree. I'll go with Booker, and I also agree with the Arenas point. All right, this one is a little tougher, I think. Jason Williams, White Chocolate, or LaMelo Ball?
Ooh.
Ben,
Ooh.
who would you draft over who?
Right now, I would probably, I think, this is
the tough one.
Yeah, it is.
because one's a little healthier than the other.
But one's a lot
kinda,
younger and has higher potential.
I really like Jayson Williams. I really, really like him. He's one of my favorite players, and but I would probably draft LaMelo Ball over him. I'd say.
Right. Lucas?
6'7", 6'8".
I mean, Ball's so young, and we don't know what the rest of his career is going to be. So that's the hardest part about this. But when he's healthy, he's a top 10 point guard in the NBA, right? Arguably top 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Ball. But look, Williams had a long career. He was a good role player. It's boom or bust for Ball, and you're gonna bank on that upside with him.
All right.
We're talking about right now, so we can't really project. But I know we might look crazy. Well, I'm gonna look crazy like in 10 years or so, looking back at this episode. But I'm gonna say Jayson Williams.
I don't hate it.
He's a champion, great point guard, all-star. I mean, I don't know.
He never made an
he didn't make an all-star.
Oh, he didn't.
He was always on winning teams. We did look that up. So his play did affect winning.
I think Memphis was the only stop that he wasn't winning in.
I would take Ball just because I think he's a better shooter already.
Mm-hmm.
So forget. I think the one thing that I forgot, the caveat or the exception is, yes, they're coming in the same draft, and we know how talented they're going to be. But forget health. For the rest, let's forget health for the rest.
Oh, well, that makes things so. We can't consider the player's injury history if they're retired.
No, let's not even consider that. Just knowing that they are.
Well, then the Gilbert Arenas answer would be different. Then
would it though? I mean,
no way. Gilbert Arenas wasn't as good as him.
We just said that in his top prime.
Yeah, if he didn't get hurt and start to have injuries, I think he would have had a close to Hall of Fame career.
Possibly.
Yeah, but Devin Booker is all NBA first team a couple times. He's significantly better than Gilbert Arenas, even in Gilbert Arenas' prime.
All right, Draymond Green or Metta World Peace? Who would you take?
Gosh.
I'll go to Lucas this time. Who would you take first?
I hate that you chose me first. Let me think here for a second. Metta World Peace or Ron Artest. You know what? If we're talking about the modern day, let me take. I said Metta World Peace and Ron Artest. I meant Draymond Green. I'll take Draymond Green because his antics didn't get wild until the end of his career, versus the antics of Metta World Peace happened early on in his career, and I think I would be more willing to give up on him at that point versus sticking with Draymond.
All right, Maurice.
I would say Draymond.
All right, Ben.
Both guys really changed their games. I would say, I'd have to say, man, Metta World Peace could shoot though.
Right. Yes, that's a good point.
Technically, on a skill set front, I mean, Draymond's playmaking and kind of leadership, I think their defense is about the same. So I would say if you take away all the antics and you redraft, I don't know, you might. No, it's going to be Draymond. The playmaking is just too good. You know what? It's too good.
I'm going to take my answer back. And the reason why, and I'm going to go with Ron Artest here, and the only reason why is that Draymond only fits on certain teams.
Yeah.
Ron Artest, you can plug into a lot of different teams and make it work in terms of play style if you get rid of the antics. Yeah. So I will go with Ron. I will change my answer to Ron Artest.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to also go Metta World Peace just because I think the shooting does matter.
And I will go with Metta World Peace too, just because he can fit pretty much anywhere. And he is a good shooter, or was a better shooter than Draymond ever will be. All right, the next one, interesting. Carmelo Anthony or Brandon Ingram? Maurice, who would you draft over who?
It'll be Melo. I mean, we compare a lot of comparisons to Brandon Ingram or Carmelo Anthony. So I'm gonna take the original.
It's Carmelo. I mean, yeah.
All right. So not overthinking it, Lucas.
I mean, Carmelo was on by what is Brandon Ingram in year 6 or 7, and has one All-Star. Melo had probably 5 or 6 All-Stars by the year 7. So look. like Brandon Ingram is Melo light, if you want to think about it like that.
Okay.
And Melo not only changed, was not one of the best players. He impacted the culture of the NBA with the, because he had the shooting sleeves and the cornrows, just like AI, and and he had his own shoe brand, and it was like him and LeBron when it came out from the draft. Like, who was better?
Right. Yeah, definitely a very talented but also marketable player. He's a lot of commercials even today still. But anyway, I think that's a no-brainer. You got to go Carmelo.
By the way, shout out to Carmelo becoming a Australian basketball league owner.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know that.
Yep.
Congratulations, spreading
partial
spreading those wings in the business world. How about, this is going to be tough, I think. Penny Hardaway or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh, this isn't tough for me at all.
Ben, who would you go with?
It's got to be SGA. I think Penny had the potential. I mean, the playmaking was better.
You can't consider, remember,
injuries.
We don't know about injuries. We don't know about injuries.
This is tough. He had Shaq. If Penny had his own team with a bunch of young guys around him, not Shaq, he probably would have put up insane numbers too. I'm going to go just SGA because I think SGA will probably be an MVP, and I'm not sure Penny could have been, but it looks like SGA is that good. So I'm going to go slightly SGA.
Before Penny Hardaway started to have injuries, we were comparing, the comparison was Penny to Magic Johnson.
Exactly.
If Penny Hardaway didn't get hurt and have those injuries, he would have been a top 15 player all time, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
In my opinion. I know Lucas might disagree with that, but in my opinion, he would have been top 15, top 20 all time if he would have had a prolonged career. I'm going to go with Penny.
Okay. All right, Lucas.
Look, Penny might have been a better playmaker. I think they're equal on rebounding terms. The question, and it comes down to scoring, and I don't think Penny would have ever been the scorer that SGA is. So I'm
different generations though when it comes to scoring.
Maybe, but also I think SGA is just 20 times a better defender than Penny is too. So
I don't know about 20 times better.
But do we ever talk about Penny's defense? Do we ever talk about
but that doesn't mean. But that's because his highlights were so just phenomenal with his passing and shooting.
But SGA is an all NBA defender.
No,
Penny, he definitely got votes this year, but. My point is, SGA is just a different defender. I can't. I'm sorry. It's just SGA, and I don't think it's close.
Okay. All right. That's your opinion. I'm going to go with Penny Hardaway because he was like Mike. It was Michael Jordan, and then there was Penny Hardaway sharing all NBA.
Yeah. He was next up.
That was special.
He was 2-time first team in that era. Yeah. So that is.
All right. This one might be a no-brainer, probably. Dwight Howard or Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Dwight.
Lucas?
Dwight. Look,
okay, that's what I thought.
Look,
Dwight.
Because outside of the back injury, how much longer Dwight's prime would have... because I think the back injury happened when he was 26 to 28 years old.
Right.
So, get rid of that. Dwight still was athletic when he was a backup center for the Lakers and the Sixers. He's still athletic now. Yeah. Just imagine if he never got the back injuries... the guy was MVP average. He was an MVP candidate, averaging 20 points per game.
Yeah, super lob threat too.
One of the best lob threats in the 21st century, easily.
20 years later, I think Dwight Howard could still play in the league.
Yeah, I think he should be. He's having off the court issues, and maybe he'll figure that out. But if he wasn't, I promise you, a team would have signed him to deal with Jokic. Or maybe the Nuggets sign him so that they actually have a better backup than DeAndre Jordan. Dwight could still be playing right now.
Jaren Jackson, kind of without Ja this year, really kind of improved his game. So I'm curious to see. He's still young. He showed some stuff he's got a little bit of potential to, I wouldn't say guard net, but he showed some stuff this year that he could take a huge leap. And he's already been Defensive Player of the Year. So I'm going to say Dwight right now, but I could see Jaren Jackson developing into an All-NBA first team forward in a couple years.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Howard, but I do like Jaren Jackson's offensive side that Dwight never developed. Let's go to these two players now. Wow. fun to watch. Giannis and Sean Kemp. Who would you draft over who?
At the time, I would have drafted Sean Kemp. Someone on a podcast compared Alonzo Mourning, said that Sean Kemp was a 6'10" Vince Carter, like that. He was on. I think he was on All the Smoke.
Okay,
and he's used that comparison. I would say Giannis, just because I think Giannis is what Sean Kemp should have been had he kind of kept developing, and so you have to say Giannis. But yeah,
Maurice,
it was clearly Giannis. Giannis has the potential to be the greatest power forward of all time. If not now, it's debatable now.
Yeah,
but
it's not there yet. You got to win one more.
He needs to kind of we keep clocking our own player. This guy actually needs to start playing in the playoffs. He's missed 3 entire playoff runs. He needs to start playing more.
Yeah, it's Giannis. I mean, look, Sean Kemp put up some impressive numbers, and maybe it was just the style of play back then that maybe hampered him a little bit because, things are a lot more opened up now than they were back then. But Giannis, like Maurice said, is arguably the second best power forward of all time already, and he's not even 30 yet. So just got to wait and see on that.
Yeah, I think Sean Kemp, had he not just developed more skill, I think it was his health and his weight. I think that's what really, took his career kind of on the downside on the way out after Cleveland. Let's go to Steve Nash or Steph Curry. Lucas, what do you think?
I'm going to go the easy route here and not get everybody hating on me. I'm going to say Steph. I mean, look, the guy's the best shooter of all time. Arguably,
technically, not statistically. We emphasize
in terms
that.
of made 3-pointers, yes.
Okay, greatest 3-point shooter of all time. I'll give you that.
But in terms of, he's, not a traditional point guard, but most people aren't traditional point guards anymore. That's okay. But look, I mean, he changed the game. He changed the culture. He's part of a dynasty, and he's won a couple of MVPs, both regular season and finals MVP. So, what?
All facts. I agree. Ben, who would you take?
It's Steph because he changes the game. So you didn't really have to double Nash. And Steph is probably one of maybe 5 players in the league that you have to double. Yeah. So the fact that Steph is one of those guys and has been for so long, it just changes the game. I get that Nash is the playmaking, but you could just single coverage him. So I'm going to say Steph.
Double team would actually help Nash, not hurt him.
Maurice, what about you?
I think it's pretty easy. It's Steph.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Steph Curry.
Probably, I saw a stat this morning, the ratings for NBA Finals going back 10 years, and all the seasons where Steph was in the finals. I guess first LeBron probably helped. Those numbers were significantly higher. And now that Steph's not in the finals, we see the numbers drop. I think we know this. I think we can let's just say it and move on. Jimmy Butler or Kobe Bryant?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant.
All right, let's keep it moving.
Don't disrespect Jimmy.
No, not at all. Jimmy's a great player, but Kobe, we got to draft Kobe.
Yeah.
This is tough. Jamal Murray or Darren Williams?
I'll take Jamal.
Jamal Murray.
I don't like the diva that Darren Williams became.
I think Jamal Murray, just because I think his game, he's just the scoring ability. Yeah.
Okay. And Maurice?
Yeah, I would say Jamal Murray as well. He's getting a reputation as a playoff riser, someone who comes along and when Jokic is double teamed in the playoffs and Jamal Murray comes through and puts up big games. I would go with Jamal Murray as well.
And I would go with Darren Williams.
Really?
He was an Olympian. He didn't win a championship, but he's hard to guard, and he averaged double-digit assists multiple years, something that Jamal Murray's never done. So I give you all credit. He is a clutch player. He's a good compliment to Jokic. But, I would go with Darren Williams.
Okay. That's a good take, because if you put prime Darren Williams on the Nuggets, they might be better. That's a good take, Uriah.
Are we? Yeah. Well, hold up. If you put prime Darren Williams on the Nuggets, then the ball's out of Jokic's hands, and I'd rather have the ball in Jokic's hands than Darren Williams' hands.
I'm just saying there's more versatility, because Darren Williams could score like Murray. Not as well, but the playmaking addition kind of.
Darren Williams' peak has been better than what we've seen so far of Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, last year's playoffs was pretty wild. Murray was putting up like prime LeBron numbers.
All right, this one's going to be interesting. Luka Doncic or Larry Bird? Who would you choose if you had to
at this moment, and I want to emphasize this moment, Larry has the hardware. You go with Larry.
Oh,
this has been a contentious.
I thought you were going to say Luka.
No.
Okay, Maurice. All right,
this has been a contentious topic in recent weeks. A lot of people on social media and television have compared Luka to Larry Bird and said Luka's already better than Larry Bird. I'm gonna go Larry Bird.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Larry Bird. It's too early for Luka. We can project, but as of right now, I'm gonna take Larry Legend.
Okay.
It's just more of a resume.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Larry. Guy was an All-NBA defender. Yeah, it's definitely. I'm gonna pick Larry Bird.
Okay, and I will veer left, and I will pick Luka Doncic. I know you guys have hardware in your corner for your argument, but for some reason, I feel like I got to go Luka. All right, Joel Embiid or Hakeem Olajuwon? Who are you drafting first?
Right now, it's Hakeem, and it's because of the hardware.
I'm gonna sound like a complete homer. I'm gonna say Joel Embiid because he does more on the court. I think he's the more polished, more skilled player of the two. I think Joel gives you a lot on defense, and I think he gives you more than Hakeem does on offense.
Okay.
We're not going to project injuries. So if you give me 10 to 12 years of Joel Embiid or 10 to 12 years of Hakeem Olajuwon, I'm going to take Joel Embiid.
I'm going to say Joel Embiid just because he's a better version of Hakeem Olajuwon, and then hopefully he can just figure out the injuries.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think Joel Embiid has a lot more offensive skills in his bag, so I would probably go with Embiid just because he can go out and shoot threes. I mean, passing is maybe they're equal with that, but I'd say Embiid. I agree.
Look, and to be clear, I think Joel is the more skilled player, but until hardware shows it, for now.
That's fair.
Well, one thing I will say, when he came back from the knee injury, I guess he just worked. His shot seems a lot better this year. Which means his game will age a little better than I thought. So he kind of has like a little Duncan suddenly to his game, which I like. Yeah,
this one might be tough. Kyrie Irving or Pistons Isaiah Thomas. Maurice, let's go to you first.
Ooh,
that's tough. I am going to go with. I'm gonna go Kyrie. I'm gonna go Kyrie.
Okay.
I had to think about that one that might be the hardest one. I'm gonna go Kyrie only because I think Kyrie is the more dynamic basketball player. They both won championships. They're both great ball handlers and all that. I just think it comes down to I just think Kyrie is a more special player than Isaiah Thomas.
If I'm drafting the two, it's hard to. Oh, this is hard. I'm going to go probably Isaiah Thomas maybe, just because the leadership.
Yep.
I know Kyrie seems like he's a great leader. He's grown into it. I think Isaiah always had that. So the college level too. So I'm going to go Isaiah Thomas.
All right. And Lucas.
That's a tough one. I'm going to go Isaiah for two reasons. One, he has more championships. Two, he's a better playmaker. Three, I don't have to deal with his off-court antics.
He's got his own stuff, though, but it's different.
It's different. I think I can handle Isaiah's more than I can handle Kyrie's. Isaiah still showed up.
Fair. Yeah. I think Isaiah Thomas, for me, look, in terms of highlights, like Isaiah is not as good as a dribbler, or his handles aren't what Kyrie's, but nobody's is. So let's just admit that. I'll concede that. But as far as being a winner, a leader, I think his background, seeing how far he came, growing up out of poverty, not having his dad in his life, I think that makes him that much more special, in my opinion. And on a team where his best offensive options were Mark Aguirre or Adrian Dantley, like Kyrie's played with Luka, LeBron, Tatum. Like Isaiah Thomas was a two-time champion with a lot less talent surrounding him. So I'll go with him. This one might be tough. Reggie Miller or Damian Lillard? Who would you draft over who? Lucas.
Neither one has won a championship. Can't use that.
Right.
I'm going to say Reggie because longevity. Like, I can already see Dame starting to lose a half step. So I'm going to say Reggie. And before Steph Curry, Reggie Miller was universally recognized as the best shooter of all time. So
that's true.
I'm going to say Reggie.
This is close, but I'm going to go Reggie Miller for pretty much everything Lucas said. Best shooter before pre-Steph.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of a playoff riser, you know. If you ask a Knicks fan, their most hated player in the 90s, early 2000s was Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Reggie.
I like the longevity thing. I'm gonna go Damian Lillard just because I think the offensive package is just like really, you know, deadly. He's had some tough rosters being in Portland. I don't think that's his fault. You were just talking about Isaiah Thomas with the rosters. Like, they've had to draft well, and they haven't really gotten free agents. It's not his fault. Actually, both teams, Indiana as well. So, but I think just Damian Lillard has a little bit more.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Well, I'm going to side with Maurice. You said Reggie Miller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go Reggie because, look, 6'7". He's got a couple inches on Lillard. As good of a shooter. For some reason, I feel like Reggie had a leadership style that maybe I can recognize a little bit more as he took his team to the finals. They went up against Shaq and Kobe, but yeah, that was a special run for the Pacers, and they were always in playoff contention. Where Lillard never really made it out of the second round. It took him a long time, but so I would go with Reggie. Let's go to Boston now. Tatum or Pierce? I would be curious what Boston fans would say about this. Who would you draft over who? Paul Pierce or Jayson Tatum? Let's go with Ben first.
Damn, Paul Pierce was a killer.
Oh, yeah.
Because he beat AI a few times. Both guys won right away. They kind of were like surprises, even though Tatum was the third pick. But it's just tough. I'm gonna say Paul Pierce, probably because a little bit more playmaking. Tatum gets you with the height, athleticism, and defense. So that's where the Boston just have. So they have all those guys who defend right now. And Pierce was a decent defender. You guys remember?
Yeah.
Is he all right? He's okay, yeah. But he had that post game. He could play point guard a little bit better. So I'm going to go Pierce.
All right, Lucas.
I'm going to go Pierce too, and it's for really just one reason. You'd never have to worry about if Paul Pierce was going to show up for a game. You still sometimes Tatum doesn't show up in big moments. And we knew that Paul Pierce was the best player on his team. Right now, Jaylen Brown looks like the best player on the Boston Celtics. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. You can agree or disagree.
I'm going to pick Paul Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
This is why that episode was actually really good, because they're very similar and they're in the same organization, which is crazy. Both of them had pretty much a long stretch of winning basketball.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Tatum has been in the playoffs every year he's been in the league, which is crazy.
All but 1 year he made conference finals. That tells you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know, that was all Jaylen Brown, according according
Markel Fultz. That's all I got to say about that.
Markel Fultz. All right, so I'm going to go with Paul Pierce just because he has a better nickname. The Truth versus Taco J. Who gave him that name? Taco J. I gotta research that further. All right, this one is interesting. Who would you draft? De'Aaron Fox or Nick Van Exel? Let's go with Ben first.
De'Aaron Fox is just more. Yeah, the guy. I think the guys. He impressed me in that. I mean, he's only had one playoff run, but he impressed me. He needed I think he had a broken finger, but yeah, he's a willing shooter. I know Van Exel kind of got hidden behind how good his teammates were, but I would say Fox.
De'Aaron Fox has the potential to be a superstar level player. Yeah. I think pretty much we've seen from Nick Van Exel through his career, he was a better role player than a superstar, quote unquote. So for that reason, I'm gonna go De'Aaron Fox.
Lucas.
De'Aaron Fox, because I never saw Nick Van Exel play, and Fox's numbers are better.
That is true, and he's a clutch player of the year. I guess 2 years ago. This year, I think he was in the running, but I don't think he won. All right, this one, oh my goodness, it's probably a no-brainer. Kevin Durant or Dominique Wilkins? Let's just say it and move on.
Durant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love Dominique, But overall game, we know KD is just, man, first ballot Hall of Fame. I think I know who Lucas is picking. Dikembe Mutombo or Rudy Gobert?
Dikembe.
Okay.
Dikembe.
Yeah, I'm going to Dikembe as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go Dikembe. This one, I think I know what Ben's going to say. James Harden or Allen Iverson? Who would you draft over who? Ben?
Iverson, his peak, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Iverson.
All right. Maurice?
Yeah, But see, the thing with Iverson was it wasn't really injuries per se that really slowed him down. It was just kind of the loss of speed. And as he got older, I wish his game would have evolved a little bit more. And for that, I'm going to go James Harden. The more transcendent offensive player, I think even at this point in his career, you can easily say he's a top 5 point guard.
Point guard 10 plus shooting guard.
His game evolved from being one of the best scorers to being a better all-around offensive player who facilitates well. So I'm going to take off my homer hat and I'm going to say James Harden.
This is really tough because regular season, I would give it to James Harden.
Right.
But in the playoffs, Allen Iverson was able to lead a team that had no business being there to the finals. So
yeah.
I'm going to say Allen Iverson, but it's close. It's really I think for this one is like, what do you value more, the regular season success or the postseason success?
Yeah. Yeah, this was tough for me too, because Iverson was one of my favorite players when I was entering adulthood. But I got to go with a guy that's taller, a guy that's a better passer, a guy that 3-point shooting wise probably eclipses Iverson's shooting numbers. So I would actually draft Harden over Allen Iverson. And I'm still mad at AI just because I look back at his career and his pride wouldn't let him come off the bench. I believe he should have gotten a championship had he acquiesced to a role that maybe he didn't want to play, 6-man, and maybe even, I'll dare say, practice a little bit more, go in the gym.
Yep.
If he would have just, I don't know, like if he would have had Kobe's mentality, just being a gym rat and just wanting to win at all costs, I think AI would have been a champion. But I think he's doing just fine in life right now. How about Blake Griffin or Paolo Banchero?
Ooh, this is hard.
Yeah. Lucas, go ahead. Think it through. Tell us who you would pick, Lucas.
Is Blake Griffin a Hall of Famer?
No.
Really?
I think yes.
I think he is. I think he definitely is.
Yeah. I think so.
His numbers were always good. He just had a really quick drop-off because of injury.
I think he was an MVP finalist one year.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's a first ballot. He might get in over time, but I don't.
He's not a first ballot, no. But
no.
I'm gonna say Blake just because we know the end result. It's close because you're betting all on Prime with Paolo because he just finished his second year. So I'm just look, if we had maybe 2 or 3 more years on Paolo, I would probably say Paolo. But for now, because we know that Blake Griffin was a 5 to 6-time All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
Averaged around 20 points per game for the majority of his career, 20 and 10, 20 and 8, whatever, was dynamic, brought to life the Clippers, pretty much resurrected that franchise.
And Detroit for that 1 or 2 years.
Detroit for that one season. Yeah, so I'm gonna say Blake.
We're projecting because he only played 2 seasons, but I'm going to go Paolo. I think Paolo is going to eclipse everything Blake has done when it comes to accolades and statistics when it's all said and done.
Yeah, Paolo kind of showed me something in that playoff run. He might be an MVP finalist pretty soon.
Yeah.
He's got that size, that handle. He's actually got a little Carmelo to his game with bigger size and more athleticism. So I think just his basketball ability is far superior to Blake Griffin.
I can see that. But I'm going to go with Paolo because already we're seeing his jump shot getting better. I guess he's just more fluid. I always felt like Griffin was a little stiff, even though he's crazy athletic. I can't describe it, but maybe it's just jump shooting for him.
His mechanics were stiff.
It was a little
Right.
robotic.
Yeah, his shooting style.
But I mean, he was efficient though. That's the thing.
He was.
So it's not like
he could jump higher than everyone.
No, I'm talking about the shooting numbers. I mean, they weren't great, but they were efficient.
Right.
So like you can complain about the form, but if it works, it works. I mean, Sean Marion.
I love Blake, but I do think Paolo's. I think he's man.
This is one of the few times where I'm the young head going for the older guy, and you guys.
It's ironic, right? I like Paolo. All right, last one, guys. We made it. We did a lot of comparisons. Who would you choose? Who would you draft over who? Jalen Brunson or Chauncey Billups? Ben.
Jalen Brunson was doing some stuff this playoff run. I know the usage was a little much, and he broke down by the end, but he could not be stopped. No. And so you gotta give it to him. So it's Jalen Brunson is suddenly in like MVP talks, and I get that Chauncey had the finals MVP, but I don't think over an 82 game regular season he was ever in that conversation. So people love to talk about the playoffs and ignore the regular season, but it's 82 games and it's a lot of if you're an MVP finalist, and it looks like he's trending toward All NBA first team next year. So Jalen Brunson.
Maurice, who would you pick?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Brunson as well. I think his peak will be better than what Chauncey Billups has given us throughout his career.
Okay, and Lucas.
Well, I'm thinking about it. Chauncey was never a top 4 point guard in the NBA. I don't think so. I mean, he was maybe top 5, top 10, but never top 4. Brunson's the 4th best point guard in the NBA right now, in my opinion. I think after this postseason right now, he's the 4th best. It's Brunson. Look, like Brunson he has the defense. He has the clutch gene. The thing is that he's just is a much better scorer than Chauncey ever was.
Right.
So it's Brunson.
Yeah, I agree. His bag is definitely much fuller. And his story is yet to be written because he's been in New York for 1-2 years, and every year he keeps getting better. So what if he comes back even better next year? That's going to be fun to watch. And again, I'm always happy for Knicks fans because all the stuff they've had to deal with. Yeah. So that was our picks. I think all season we were objective and we didn't really want to say who we liked over who, but there you go. Season finale. We've given you our opinions. And before we go, I'm just going to read off a few episodes that are going to be coming for season 2. And if these change in the off season, it's maybe because someone, I don't know, had a different change of heart with what we agreed on. But for season 2, what we have on deck, we have a comparison of Ja Morant and Derrick Rose. We have Trae Young, Tim Hardaway, not Tim Hardaway Jr., but his dad. We're also going to compare Paul George to Tracy McGrady, Anthony Davis to Kevin Garnett, Charles Barkley and Zion Williamson, Bam Adebayo, Alonzo Mourning. I've given in to the idea of comparing Jokic to Tim Duncan.
Thank you.
So that will be season 2. Kevin Love to Domantas Sabonis. And get ready for this one, Wilt Chamberlain and Victor Wembanyama.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and guess what? That's not even all the episodes. We still have a lot more to debate and prepare and think about for season 2. And by the way, if you want to chime in on social media this summer, we are still going to be present. We're still going to be having Twitter Spaces. Lucas mentioned that in a private chat with me, what we're going to do in the off season to stay relevant. We're considering doing intergenerational comparisons of NBA Hall of Fame players, which we're considering going back to Patreon for those episodes. But if you want these comparisons of players of today to players of yesterday, come back for season 2, which will start the same time that the NBA season starts in 2024. Before we sign off, guys, do you have a message for our fans and followers?
Feel free to hit us up with any comparisons that you guys think, because we're open to suggestion, because we do debate these pretty extensively. This isn't just something. Sometimes it takes weeks to figure out who to compare.
Yeah, like Jokic wasn't supposed to be Tim Duncan at first. Nope. I had to fight for that one. It was originally the older Sabonis.
Yeah. It scared me. I felt threatened. Look, I just felt like I was like my life was. I was in jeopardy.
Put him up.
Maurice, you got a message before we sign off?
Yeah, and this is why this podcast is so great, because we get all the facts together. So for everybody on social media or TV, where you make your blanket statements of what player is better than what player, present all the facts. Go through the accolades. Go through the stats. Go through his teammates, coaches. Go through all that, and then come up with a fair assessment. That's all I ask for. And if you don't want to do it, you come to us, listen to us. We'll do it for you.
Absolutely. Excellent. And Lucas?
Just make sure that if you guys continue to want to listen to our content, make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you share about us to your your basketball friends and family that love basketball. Maybe they have one. Maybe you have a really old uncle that wants to do like George Mikan versus, I don't know, Bill Walton. I mean, who knows? Rest in peace, Bill.
Yeah.
So they like
rest in peace.
Yeah. So we're open to it. Just and you got to, if you can't come up with ideas, talk to your friends about it. Maybe you guys want us to do Rip Hamilton versus Klay Thompson or something. I don't know, but
yeah. Great message, Lucas. And I will end on this. I had an epiphany yesterday, and this journey, man, I can't even express how proud I am of what we've put together, the effort that you guys have put forth. I'm really happy that we started this together. I'm really looking forward to season 2. I'm looking forward to going back into the lab and producing ideas, collaborating with all of you and Winston and anyone else who wants to jump in. But the epiphany is this. When I got interviewed a few weeks ago, it was me explaining, like, why do we do this? And it really is like on the surface, it's like, okay, who's better, this player, that player, or who's most similar? Like, that's the surface of why we do what we do. But for me, I think this vision leads me to the fans across the world, no matter what country you're in, what continent you reside. I think about every person that I know that loves basketball. I think about those memories that were planted in our emotions that keep us going back to this great sport, whether it was playing in the driveway with your dad or going to gym class and, you don't want to play volleyball. You just want the gym teacher to roll out the basketballs, right? So every basketball memory that we have leads us to this, our favorite players, going down memory lane. Like you're saying, Lucas, you got an uncle who loves old school basketball. Like, this podcast is for you. The youngins coming up in their 20s or even teenagers, like, you listen to us, we give props to the younger players. And we are that bridge to make people say, this is the greatest sport on the earth. No offense to football fans. This is a sport that if you're down and out and you need some time by yourself, you go get a ball and you shoot by yourself. Or it's the same sport where you can meet a bunch of strangers down the street on the court, playground, and you play pickup hoops. So that being said, I love what we're doing. We're going to have some special guests that we're going to interview. We'll see you in a couple months. I'm Uriah with NBA Now and Then with Lucas Johnson, Ben Franzewski, did I get that right? And Maurice Huggins. Thank you, everyone, for following. Thank you, everyone, for supporting. And we'll be back even better in the fall.
NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons.
Connectivity is the common theme of what you three just mentioned. And I agree. I mean, meeting all you guys and being able to call you guys friends or even brothers means a lot to me. And to share my passion of learning about how people became successful through their ups and downs, their trials and errors, and to share that with basketball fans about their favorite players, it's very meaningful to me.